And one of the Arabic couplets says, لو كان في العلم من دون التقى شرف لكان أشرف خلق الله إبليس. لو كان في العلم من دون التقى شرف. If there were any excellence in knowledge without taqwa, if there were any excellence in knowledge without taqwa, لكان أشرف خلق الله إبليس, then the most honorable personality would have been Iblis. He was in tremendous amount of knowledge, but with no taqwa. He did not do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded him. So he defied the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that brought him down. Though he was jinn, in principle he was jinn, but due to his tremendous ibadah, he became the head of all angelic kingdom. Then he was brought down. Shaitan al-Rajim. Shaitan, the one who is away from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Rajim, the accursed one. So knowledge is only beneficial when it makes a person to realize his purpose of life. It's only beneficial when it makes a person to be aware of what is halal and what is haram, what's right and what's wrong. Just not to seek the knowledge of it, rather to practice it. And practicing this thing is what the knowledge is all about. And when a person is afflicted with gurur, he doesn't understand the real purpose of knowledge. He thinks that he has got the knowledge with him, and the example of knowledge without taqwa, and then being afflicted with gurur is that of a child who is carrying a gun. And he doesn't know whom to kill and whom to save. It will be brutal if you hand over a gun to a child who doesn't know who is the enemy and who is the friend. So same is example of the person with the knowledge and without practice. So ulama say, al-ilmu bila amal, kashajar bila thamar. What's the beauty of the tree? What's the important and essential thing in the tree? And if, for example, if we have the apple orchard, we implant the apple trees or the pear trees or anything else. What's the ultimate result we want from it? Hope we
What's the
got
fruits?
It's the fruits we want. But what if a person is trying his best? He's preparing the land, he's preparing the soil, then he's implanting a seed, then he's sowing a seed, then he's properly irrigating it, properly providing the water to it, dividing it, everything which is required so that it grows into a full-blown tree. And after it is grown as a full tree, after a long period of time, a person struggled hard and he ensured that the tree is grown as a full tree, and ultimately it did not bear any fruit. So what is the benefit of this tree? Nothing. It deserved to be burnt. It deserved to be used as a fuel to the fire, because it did not give the thing it was meant for, it was implanted for. That's what ulama say, al-ilmu bila amal, kashajar bila thamar. Knowledge without action is like that of a tree without the fruits. Then what is the benefit of the tree? If it doesn't yield, if it doesn't bear the fruit, then what is the benefit of it? There's no benefit of it. And some other scholars say, al-ilm bila amal, ka-nahar bila ma. What is the beauty of a river? What is the beauty of a pond? What is the beauty of a brook?
That the water we can drink and we can swim in it.
Simply, it must be having the tremendous amount of water. The amount of water defines the beauty of a particular water body. If you have a water body, but there's no water in it, then it's of no use. The river has the beauty only when it has a tremendous amount of water. The brook is only beautiful when the water is flowing down. But if there is no water in a brook, if there is no water in a pond, if there is no water in a river, or now in our modern day parlance, the beauty of a swimming pool is with water. We have the swimming pool, but there's no water. Then what is the benefit of it? You spend thousands of ringgits, thousands of dollars to make a swimming pool, but there's no water. Then what is the fun of it? What is the benefit of it? Nothing. Same applies to a person whom Allah blessed with the knowledge, but he's not practicing it. And the ghurur is which makes a person to ignore all these things. He's always concerned with the means, not with the end. He's concerned with what he possesses, not what it was supposed to be meant for. The ghurur doesn't make a person to think on these lines. That's why the translator has translated a deception. A person is always in his deception, that he feels that he acquired the knowledge of Sharia. Now, is quite important person, an important figure. But in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he doesn't carry any importance. Why? The reason is he's stuck with the means, and he doesn't want to achieve the thing these means were meant for. The knowledge was meant to achieve the pleasure of Allah. The knowledge was meant to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The knowledge was meant to make a person realize what is halal and what is haram, practicing halal and avoiding the haram. That was the basic objective of the knowledge. But ghurur is such a deadly thing which doesn't make a person to think on these lines. And he always thinks that yes, he's quite knowledgeable person. And the thing becomes more and more dangerous according to the popularity of a scholar. If there's more popularity, then it is more dangerous for him. Though for those also who are less popular or who are not popular anyway, but still, if a person is having this type of mentality that he is having a good amount of knowledge, but at the same time, this knowledge doesn't help him to stay away from what is forbidden, what is prohibited. And this knowledge doesn't help him to practice what is obligatory or what is optional. And this knowledge is actually a ghurur, is a deception. Because on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't ask a person that how much knowledge you acquired. The question will be how much knowledge you practiced, how much knowledge you gathered. This won't be the question. If this was supposed to be the question, then okay, it would benefit us to have a lot of knowledge without practice. But the question will be altogether different. The question will be how much knowledge you practice it. That will be the question. And the ghurur, it makes a person to ignore all such things. The person won't think on these lines. And then another section of this category have perfect knowledge and act perfectly only in manifestation. That is, they do not try to examine their hearts and remove the blameworthy qualities inculcated therein, such as pride, envy, ostentation, love of fame, and the like. These persons have decorated their appearances and neglected their inner entities, forgetting that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Verily, Allah does not look to your bodies nor to your faces, but He looks to your hearts and your deeds," reported by Imam Muslim, rahimahullah.